Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. We would like to welcome you to the fourth section of Study Queensland Global Webinar Series. Before we start the webinar, let me introduce myself. I'm Sabrina, the Education Business Development Manager in Trade Investment Queensland Taiwan office. In today's webinar, we will focus on Taiwan bilingual education. We will talk about the international education in Taiwan, the latest update on COVID-19, and of course, the bilingual education policy, the initiatives, and of course, the opportunities to Queensland education provider. We also invited two guest speakers. One is from government agency, and the other one is from school sector to share their experience from different perspectives. Before I hand over to our first speaker, please keep your microphone on mute. If you have any question, please type your question in the Q&A box on the bottom. We will look at your questions during the webinar and we'll answer all the questions in Q&A section. If we can answer all the questions, we will do the follow-up afterwards. The webinar will be recorded, so if you are not able to attend the whole section, you can always go to the TIQ YouTube channel to watch it. Now let me introduce our first speaker, our Patrick Hoffenstein, our Commissioner of TIQ Taiwan office. I believe many of you already know Patrick very well. Patrick, prior to his appointment as Commissioner, Patrick was the Group Manager in Study Queensland, delivering multiple export deals, successful marketing campaigns, and the major projects in global markets. Now I'm going to hand over to Patrick.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We've just made it to afternoon here in Taiwan. I'm going to be giving a bit of a market overview before we listen to some of the other speakers talk more about the specifics of bilingual education here in Taiwan. So I'd like to begin with just giving you a general update of the COVID-19 situation in Taiwan. So to date, we've had 443 confirmed cases with only 9 active cases remaining. And so Taiwan basically has done remarkably well. There have been 0 lockdowns. While schools were a little bit delayed in their opening, they've remained open throughout the whole pandemic. Things apart from international travel are pretty much back to normal here in Taiwan. If you go to the shopping areas now, they're as full as they were. We can go to, pubs and clubs. We can drive to other cities as far as we want. And even the baseball matches have spectators now enjoying the games too. Expos have also just started, so we're very lucky to be here in Taiwan. And Taiwan has been supporting other countries around the world. So to date, they've donated over 25 million masks all around the world, including 200,000 to Australia. We're also very lucky to have direct flights remaining between, there's actually daily direct flights between Australia and Taiwan. And then for Brisbane to Taiwan, there are 5 direct flights. 2 of them are passenger flights from China Airlines, and then 3 of them are cargo flights from Eva Air. In terms of the economic side of things, so there's almost 500,000 people unemployed in Taiwan at the moment. It's gone up slightly in April from 3.72 in March to just over 4 in April. So still a lot of people unemployed, but doing a lot better than many other countries who are seeing millions of people, without jobs at the moment. The central bank still forecasts economic growth of almost 2% for the year. For the first quarter, they had 1.5% growth. And then for exports, they're also still up. So we have in April, 2.3% rise in exports, which was fueled by ICT and electronics. Okay, a little bit of an overview of Taiwan. So Queensland still has the largest number of student visa grants from Taiwan. In terms of enrollments, we are still #1 in vet and school enrollments, but we've dropped to second for both higher education and ELICOS for enrollments. So Queensland's still performing very well, better than most of the other states. It's also a very popular choice for Taiwanese tourists, for working holiday visa makers and migrants. So there's actually 16,000 first generation Taiwanese who live in Brisbane, and then also second generation, there's a further 19,000 second generation Taiwanese. TIQ Taiwan has also been doing very well. So we've got 16 offices around the world, and in terms of the pandemic, our Taiwan Overseas Post has probably done the best out of everyone. So we're very much open to doing business here. We've been working in the office for the last 6 weeks. We only had a short period where we were working from home, and we're continuing to do with meetings. So, okay. And then finally, the last thing I'd like to say is that Taiwan is also the 5th largest export destination for Queensland, and it's valued at $3.2 billion. A lot of that is fueled from the resource sector, so a lot of coal and a lot of beef, and after that it's probably education and tourism are the biggest export destinations. Okay, so here's a bit of a snapshot on the student enrollments in Queensland. So you can see that we have Taiwan is now the 8th largest source market for Taiwan, for Queensland, with just over 5,000 students. And that's dropped slightly. So I can see from a time when I was managing a Study Queensland team that Nepal was not ahead of us, but they've snuck in there now. And I can see that also Colombia's moved up quite a lot in the rankings. There we go. Thank you, Sabrina. And I can see Philippines has also snuck up there and doing quite well now. In terms of where they're spread, so you can see now that there are actually more enrollments in New South Wales compared to Queensland, which was for the first time that's happened last year in 2019. A lot of that's been fueled by the ELICOS sector in New South Wales. So ELICOS has been increasing quite significantly in the New South Wales market, whereas for Victoria and Queensland, the numbers have been dropping in ELICOS. So that's the main reason there. This is the breakup. So you can see the majority of Taiwanese are in vet programs. Over half are in vet programs, but there's still a healthy number of students who are in both the ELICOS and the higher education sector. In terms of what they're studying, there's nothing too out of the ordinary here. I think this is probably the same for most markets, but management and commerce are making up the most popular field of education. In terms of how the TIQ Taiwan office can help you here in Taiwan, these are the few of the different things that we would like to promote with you. So obviously, student recruitment can't be done at this very point of time. However, once international travel restrictions lift, we would be more than happy to help you with student recruitment, in particular, introducing you to new agents if needed. We also, there's also a number of universities here in Taiwan who have twinning programs with Queensland. So there's about 4 or 5 Queensland universities offering twinning programs. So if that's something you'd like to explore, we can also introduce some universities to you. Curriculum licensing is also popular, and the big success story will be about UDA Private School, and we've got Jamie, the International Director from UDA, who will talk about that a little bit later. Study tours is also popular, and that's both with agents and also education bureaus, so we can assist with that. Teacher training is also popular, so we've also helped an institution to deliver teacher training even throughout the pandemic. So that's another good opportunity for you. Outbound mobility, so we do see a number of new Colombo Plan scholars come to Taiwan. Some of them have also had internships here in the TIQ Taiwan office. So if you do have any students who are looking to come to Taiwan, we'd be happy to assist with that too. EdTech is also growing in popularity. So as you may know, Taiwan has a very big tech industry. So if you do have anything in that field from, STEM to robotics or online learning, we would like to assist in that. And Taipei City government may touch on this a little bit later, but they have a very strong online learning platform, which has over 500,000 students have access to it, and across over 800 schools. And then also, if you're looking to do any alumni events, I know some of the big universities often come to Taiwan and do some alumni events. So if you need any assistance with that, we'd be more than happy to help. So here's just a couple of major events and case studies that I'd like to share with you. So Study Gold Coast has been very active in Taiwan recently. So last year they signed an MOU with the Taipei City Government Education Bureau. From that, they then offered 20 scholarships to future leaders from the Taipei high school sector to do a 2-week study tour to the Gold Coast. The feedback was extremely positive, and I believe some of them are now also looking to go to university on the Gold Coast in Australia. To reciprocate, they have also offered to send some further study tour groups to the Gold Coast. Unfortunately, they were put on hold this year due to the pandemic, but hopefully they can continue as soon as the travel restrictions lift. They're also working on a number of other projects, including some soccer exchanges. So they'll be hosting the Gold Coast soccer team over here in Taipei to play against some of the local high schools. And similarly, Taipei will send a soccer team to the Gold Coast to play against some of the Gold Coast high school soccer teams. That again was supposed to happen this year, but was put on hold. But this was all came out of the sister city relationship that Gold Coast has with Taipei, which is in its 38th year this year. Here are some other events for alumni and outbound mobility. So I'm not sure if you can see the photos well enough, but the one on the left of your screen is we've got Leanne Kemp, who is the Queensland Government Chief Entrepreneur. She visited Taiwan to be a keynote speaker at a conference. And as part of that, we also, in collaboration with the Australia office and also the Australian New Zealand Chamber of Commerce, organised an alumni event where all the Queensland and Australian alumni came along to listen to Leanne talk about, how to become a successful startup or how to start your own business, which was attended by, I think, close to 100 people. And we also hosted that at the newly opened Taipei WeWork. We were actually the first event that they had there. The picture on the right, this was a large delegation or large group from UQ. So they had over, I think, almost 300 UQ students came over in December, January during their summer holidays to do a unit of study here in Taiwan. Many of them went to Dongwu Suzhou University. And as part of that, again, we invited them to the Australia office so they can see, what the Australia office looks like, but then also to hear some speakers talk about their businesses in Taiwan. So for example, we had like a representative from ANZ, we had an alumni from Queensland alumni from PwC talk to the visiting UQ students. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about, in Taiwan, they call it Bilingual Nation 2030, but just so that I could clarify for everybody that the nation is Taiwan. They implemented this new initiative back in late 2018. And their hope is to be, a lot more like Singapore, where everybody is bilingual and people can, if they speak English, they can, access information and, get around Taiwan easily and freely. using the English language. So in 2019, they implemented quite a few different measures. So they've got an English language learning resource portal that they've established. They've relaxed the K-12 Education Act to allow for more bilingual schooling. They've produced a lot of bilingual government resources. So, I mean, websites, forms and documents, laws, regulations, that's just a few of them. I mean, there's a whole list of different resources that they're making bilingual. The target is obviously 100%, but you can see that they're tracking quite well against that already just in 2019. A lot of frontline services that also want to make sure that they're bilingual. Some examples are hotlines and tourism operators, hospitals and banks, etc., which is currently sitting at 50%. They're implementing Teach English in English and content language integrated learning. So this might be of relevance to the universities and the ELICOS and the vet providers who are doing teacher training courses. Implementing a lot of digital learning technologies, accelerating the internationalization of the education systems. That's, you know, things like twinning programs, as I mentioned before, and establishing more English TV channels and radio stations. So that's just a snapshot. It's actually, they've got a whole raft of initiatives under that, but I've tried to just combine them into make it a little bit more easier to understand. So, sorry, there's a photo there. I forgot to introduce the photo. So the man on the left, that's the new Vice President of Taiwan, William Lai, and he was formerly the mayor of Tainan in the south of Taiwan, and he was known for improving the bilingual education in that city. And now that he's at the central government level, he's now made this into a national priority. And the lady next to him is the President of Taiwan, now in her second term, and she's also the first female President of Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen. Okay, so in terms of what it means for the different sectors in education, so for primary schools, there's over 300 public primary schools now in Taiwan who are offering bilingual courses, and 9 junior high schools. And for the Taipei city government, they've even established a bilingual education office back in 2017. So everyone's, you know, very serious about this and making some good progress. The kinds of things that they're interested in the senior high schools are like joint diploma programs or foundation year programs. So again, Taipei city government will probably touch on this a little bit more, but you know, being able to offer these programs in Taiwan so that they can then directly enter universities into the UK or other places in the world is very attractive for them. For vocational high schools, New Taipei City, so that's different from Taipei City. New Taipei City is like the surrounding city of Taipei. They're offering over 30 bilingual courses in the 26 vocational high schools that they have. And at the higher education level, they've got scholarship programs. Last year, they sent out 3,500 students, and they're internationalizing the curriculum too. So that can be twinning programs, or it could be offshore delivery, but anything that they can do to be able to, you know, teach the courses in English and also receive the accreditation in English. I won't go through all the opportunities there in the bottom of the list, because I think I've touched on all those before, but as you can see, in terms of the bilingual education, there are a number of opportunities that are available for Queensland. I guess the big advantage for most of these is that despite the pandemic and the travel restrictions, a lot of these discussions and partnerships can continue now. Taiwan is open for business, and they're looking for these types of opportunities, and they can be easily negotiated, you know, through continuing to go through web conferences using Zoom and Teams and things like that. So that's about it for my presentation. But we'd love to hear from you. We're definitely open. Come, you know, drop either myself or Sabrina or somebody in the Study Queensland team back in Brisbane a line if you are interested in any of these opportunities. And I would now hand it back to Sabrina, who will introduce the next speaker. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Patrick. Now, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Alumni Chen, the Chief Secretary of Taipei City Education Department. Alumni has been with Taipei City Education Department for over 10 years. Prior to her appointment as Chief Secretary, Alumni also held several positions in vocational education division, preschool education division, secondary education division, and information education division. So pretty much covered all the sector. Now I'm going to hand over to Adeline.
Thank you, Sabrina. Hi, friends in Queensland. We start?
You start.
Oh, yeah,
Sarah,
okay. Okay, I'm Adeline Chen, the Chief Secretary of the Department of Education in Taipei City. Nice to meet you all in online. Today we will come to share our bilingual education in Taipei. Following the subject that Patrick have introduced, the 2013 the bilingual blueprint in Taiwan. In Taipei, we know the goal is not establish English as an official language, but to create an English-speaking environment and to make Taiwan as a society in which people can communicate with fluently. So in Taipei, how do we cultivate bilingual talent to bring Taiwan to the world as its goals? To reach these goals, 5 policies will be launched, will be presented on this presentation later. First, adopt a dynamic teaching approach with focusing on daily English use. Second, we will expand more human resource required for English education. The third, make effective use of digital technology and promote individualized learning. And fourth, accelerate international of the educational system. And 5, we want to relax current regulation to allow for flexible mechanism. And you will find the 5 policy will show on the presentation later. First, in the part of organization structure, in 2019, we have a new section in Taipei City government on the Department of Education. We have the Taipei Bilingual Education section, and it cooperates with English Medium Instruction Research Center of University of Taipei. And their mission is research and develop bilingual teaching material yearly. The next 4 years, they will create more material in following subject like physical education, arts, science. And we have 3 offices in this section: administrative office, curriculum office, and teaching material office. And actually, we start very early. In 2016, we launched integration of English into other subjects. What does it mean? It means in other subjects like physical exercise, arts, music class, we use some English words and to use some sub-activities to make students to speak English, to have more opportunity to speak English. It starts 6 schools to this subject, and lately more and more schools come to join this way. And the next year, we have another method. This means bilingual schools. It launched since 2017. And since the grade 1st, 1/3 of the class period are taught in English. And the teaching method was content and language integrate program. And one class with 2 teachers. One teacher is certified by English as second language teacher, and the other teachers with high English language proficiency. And the first year, we have 2 schools join this method. And these 2 schools come to only 1 grade first. And until this year and next year, we already have 28 bilingual schools, 20 elementary school, and 8 junior high school. And at least 1 bilingual school in each administrative district. In Taipei, we have 140 elementary schools. That means 14% of schools have joined this kind of the method. And our purpose is we want our students use English as a communication tool, not just an exam subject. And we want our teacher to reform their teaching into content and language integrate learning. And our school, we want to provide a learning environment for students and to use English and develop a localized bilingual teaching module. And the next, my colleague will explain more detail about the teaching models.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the great introduction from our Chief Secretary, Ms. Chen. And I'm Lindsay. I will continue the presentation. And so next. Okay, so I'm just following on the CLIO teaching models. I think everybody is very well known, and I think everybody understands these models. So we would like to use the 4 C's framework, which are like content, communication, culture, and cognition, and integrating content and language to trigger students' learning motivation and also their interest. And then we would like them to learn English while using it in a real context. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, so of course, it's very important to see the feedbacks from the student, teachers, and parents. So when we finish the first semester of this year, we have done the survey. So 74 students feel like their English abilities have improved, and also 90% of the teachers believe that their students are willing to speak English after this semester. And then more importantly, like 94% of the parents agree to promote bilingual education continuously. So which means the students learn better, and also the parents are happy, and also the school feel like the program is effective. Okay, so next page, we are going to talk about the criteria of the participation schools. So in 2016, when we start to implement the program, and we focus on the small school size, and then it seems that with the time goes on, then we would like to focus on the schools which are willing to participate in this program. Also, they have the sufficient qualified teachers. And of course, if they also need to incorporate the program and put English integrated into other subjects. That's our criteria of choosing the participating schools. Okay, of course, this is the 4th year. This is the 4th year. Yeah, this is the 4th year of this program. So we will definitely encounter different challenges. So the first challenge we have is that insufficient qualified teachers. So what's our solution so far? So the first one, we provide the PD training for our in-service teachers. So we work with the local language training and testing center to provide our in-service teachers for the language support. And also we work with Australia to provide the CLIO programs to reinforce our teachers' CLIO knowledge and CLIO strategies. And the second strategy we use is like we provide a certified foreign English teacher to co-teach with the local English teachers. And the third one is like we also recruit the qualified bilingual teachers, which means that they are specialized on the subjects, and also they have a high English proficiency. So we will recruit them to our teachers pool. And the last one, of course, like as a government, we will also do the long-term preparation. So the other strategy we use is like the government, we finalized the teaching preparation program for the pre-service teachers. So I think maybe in the following years, we will have sufficient qualified teachers to implement the bilingual programs. Okay, and another challenge is like bilingual curriculum resources. So as you can see on the slide, we develop and we did the research and we develop our own textbooks. So we have the live curriculum textbooks, health and PE textbooks, arts, music, and science. And it's an ongoing process to provide our students and the teacher in a local context to implement a bilingual program. Okay. Next, I'm going to talk about the 4 tracks of the international diploma programs, which I believe like some of the schools are really interested in. So the first program is called Joint Diploma Program. And then we have Zhongzhen Senior High School working with a Fairmont Private High School in California. And the other one is, there are 3 high schools in Taipei, Minlun, Bailing, and Yangming, working with Greater Saskatoon, thank you, Catholic schools in Canada. And the second track is called International Foundation Year. And we do have 3 schools and also expecting 3 more schools joining this program. And they work with the Northern Consortium, the NCUK. And the third track is called, everybody must know this one, the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. So it's implemented in Xizong High School. And the last one, the last track is called School-Based Curriculum. And this is, we expect this program starting this year. And then it's implemented in Nanhu High School. And the school is working with City College Plymouth. And then they will take the 6 courses. And then the students who are done the courses are accredited to enter the schools in City College Plymouth. Okay, next, I'm going to focus on the features of the joint diploma programs. So they have a different focus. For Zhongzhen High School, which working with the Fairmont Private High School in California, USA. The school provides advanced program courses and they use English as a medium of instruction. And for the other 3 schools working with the Greater Saskatoon Catholic schools in Canada. They're focusing on thematic-based learning and inquiry-based learning. Okay, and this is the second track, like International Foundation Years. And as well, I mentioned earlier, there are going to be 6 schools joining this program, and there are 4 streams: business, arts and humanity, and engineering and science. So once it's a 3-year program, and once the students finish the programs here, and they will get a certificate, and then they are guaranteed to get access to the NCUK schools, universities. Okay, and the last, the third track, the IB program. This is only one thing I would like to mention here is that our implementing school, Shizong High School, is going to be the first public school to be accredited as an IB school in Taiwan. This is a great news to share. Next, so about the implementation, to ensure the quality, ensure that the teaching quality and also the learning quality. So we formed a strategic partnerships and alliance on our side. So all the schools are working together and then share information together. And also we work closely with our alliance overseas and then to ensure like all the programs work successfully. Okay, the last one will be the numbers of the students at each program. As you can see on the slide, for the joint diploma program, we are expecting to have 100 students joining. And then for the IFY program, IFY program, and then there will be 120 students joining in the upcoming year. And for the IB program, and then we only open for one class, so we remain like 25 schools, 25 students, sorry. And then the last one will be the school-based curriculum, and we are expecting to have 25 students to join us. So to sum up, this year, altogether, we have 170 students join the international diploma programs, and we are expecting to have 270 students to join, which will be double of the student size. And so we, Department of Education, have worked very hard to provide different assets for our students to learn and also connect with the world. And then we also prepare them to enter the overseas universities. Thank you. Oh, the last page, actually.
Thanks, Lindsay, and
Yes.
for the presentation. And TIQ Taiwan works very closely with Taipei City Teaching Department on several program projects. So, okay, so now let me introduce our next speaker, Jamie from the Private International School. And Yude is the first and the only Queensland curriculum licensed school in Taiwan. So, Jamie.
Hello, I'm Jamie. I'm the director of the Yude Private School. And here I'm going to talk about our case, about how our school is built up and how we provide the program and how we cooperate with the Queensland government to become the first curriculum licensing program in Taiwan. Okay, so first is a short history of our school. Our school is quite new. Even you ask some students in Taiwan, they probably never heard of our school because our school from the elementary division, we established our elementary school in 2010. And then after 2 years, we have the graduates who need to go to the junior high school, that means in grade 7. So that's why we want to keep our students still immersed in the bilingual program. So that's why we established our junior high school in 2012 and gradually to become a senior high school. And then later on, that some of our students, their target is to study abroad, not just like study in Taiwan. So that's why we have the international program established. And then we cooperate with the Queensland QCE. Okay, so we provide the curriculum licensing program to students who want to study in Australia because this program provides them the opportunity that they can get into the freshman directly instead of studying for the foundation program. So this is our school organization. We are just like a school with a lot of department. And as you can see here, the international department, we are the department that plan all the English programs for our school. So we have the elementary coordinators, junior high school, senior high school coordinators, and international program coordinators. And we also have the study counselor that can provide them some advice that which school they should choose in university. Yeah. And as you can see, this is our the size of our school. This only shows that in 2015, but at the beginning, there are only 6 classes 10 years ago in 2010. And gradually we build up and then we grow up to become like 57 classes now. And about the student enrollment, 10 years ago, there were only 52 students in our school. And because of the reputation, because of the recommendation from parents, more and more students attend our schools. So right now there are about 1,600 students currently studying in our school from grade 1 all the way up to grade 12. So as you can see, our school has the school visions. Okay, our curriculum is based on these 5 visions. We hope that our students can have creativity, and not only creativity, they should build up their characters. Okay, we hope that one day our students can become the citizens with good characters. And also because parents are the ones who provide them the opportunity to study. So they should feel grateful to their parents. And we also provide the bilingual program. So we hope that our students can be bilingual and global. And the last one is that I hope that our students, they are the elites in the world, not just like the elites in Taiwan. So here are the school features. We provide a program that, okay, so students can learn by doing. Okay, we provide not only the lecture class, but also some hands-on materials so that students can do the experiment like that. And also for our elementary, it's the bilingual program from grade 1 to grade 6. That means the students will learn, just like the Taipei City, the students will learn like math in English, science in English, social studies in English. So students can really like try to practice their English and gain some knowledge at the same time. And when students go to grade 7, there are 2 paths that we provide for our students. One is like maybe students who still want to study locally in Taiwan, that we provide the ESL class. So that means the students still have the opportunity to talk to the English teacher to apply their knowledge, apply their language skills into presentations, not just like test-based curriculum. Also, we provide an international program to students who want to study abroad from grade 7 to grade 12. That means that students start to think critically. Okay, they not only sit there, listen to the teacher's lecture, they need to think, they need to debate with the teacher, they need to know what they want in the future. And also we are the first Queensland recognized school. That means that we cooperate with the Queensland Education Bureau government. Okay, we don't cooperate with just like one private school in Australia. We provide with the government. And also we provide the second language learning from grade 7 to grade 12. That means that they not only learn Mandarin Chinese, English, they start to learn like, okay, Spanish, German, and other languages. And in our program, there's one feature that we are proud of, just like, even though we try to cultivate students to become the worldwide elites, we still hope that they can still remember Taiwan is still their home. Okay, we don't want our students to always appreciate the advantages overseas. They can still see the advantage in Taiwan. So that's why we have the Taiwanese culture learning in the international program. They not only learn that, okay, the world history, they still also need to learn the history in Taiwan, learn about the media, learn about the traditions here. And also we cooperate with the universities in Taiwan and or even in like UQ to some online lessons or to visit the campus, and then they will get a one-day trip and then to learn something new, something there. And we also provide a school-based artists. Our students, they need to have the good taste of life. So that's why they will attend, we have the violinists come to our school to teach the students about music or even about the art. And our school provided the whole English environment during the English class time, even to students who want to study locally, because when they are learning English, okay, they have to be immersed in the environment for certain hours. Otherwise, it's hard for them to really like, okay, think as a native speakers. And our teachers also work hard, and all the teachers need to do the teaching demo and observation so that, okay, the teachers can get the feedback from their peer review to know that what perspective that they have to improve. So as you can see, this is our staff in our department. There are about like 70 English teachers in our department. Okay, so I think that's quite a lot. No matter which school, it's hard to provide like 70 teachers who can teach, who speak English to students. But in our department, we have like the local English teachers. We also have teachers from UK, Canada, USA, or South Africa, that they are qualified English teachers or qualified literature teachers, science teachers. So the parents and the school, they expect that our students can act locally and think globally. Okay, so parents hope that when they send our kids, when they send their kids to our school, they hope that they can learn in a safe environment, in a friendly environment without the bullying. Okay, and then our tuition fee is quite affordable. It's not really like the most expensive tuition fee. And we provide the curriculum from grade 1 to grade 12 in consistency. And also the students who study here, they master in both Mandarin Chinese and English. And in the future, of course, we hope that our students can be citizens with good characters. They care about others, not just like care about their own success. And our students should be able to compete with global elites, not just like, okay, be the top one in Taiwan. And since that we train our students to think globally, we hope our students never forget his origin. He's from Taiwan, and then maybe one day after he finishes education, he can contribute what he learns to the society. So here are some examples that some activities we provide in our school. So this is like the elementary ELA class. Okay, so you can see the students need to learn how to write an essay, or they will make something like, okay, one time they learned a story about Mother Teresa, so they will make something to write about her biography. And here, this is the activities in class. That's our just like science class or social studies class. Students will have some experiment, or they have to make their own planets model. And then they need to talk about some other countries to make a poster and to present to our students that just like which country and then what's the attractions there, like that. And in elementary, our students will have the year-end performance. That means that they combine what they learn. Maybe it's like singing and dance, like a musical. Maybe it's a drama. And then some students even need to write their own script and play the drama. Also, we will attend the new Taipei City English Song Competition. Okay, learning English is not just like sitting in class and to read. Okay, you can learn English by songs also. So that's why our students will attend the English Song Competition to sing and dance, and they are not afraid to perform on the stage. As for our high school, junior high, in the ESL program, okay, even though these students try to pass the entrance exam to high school in Taiwan, in ESL class, we provide them a lot of opportunities to present their ideas, to talk verbally instead of written test. So that's why you can see here the students will present some topics, okay, and such as the United Kingdom, some countries, and the teachers will discuss with the students, and it's a small class, but students have a lot of opportunities to speak English. And also in high school, junior high school students, they will attend the English song competition. And then for the students, they have the creativity. So they will think about how to dance by themselves. And then the teachers only probably just like to supervise them. And all of the ideas are come up with students. And here, this is the QCE, that's the curriculum licensing program in Queensland. So in the math class, students not only learn the knowledge, they also need to do something. Okay, so they need to actually major. Okay, for example, in the picture, you can see the students need to really actually measure the length and then try to build up with something instead of like calculating the answers only. And this is like in the international program science class. Okay, so we have our lab, the biology lab or the physics lab, chemistry lab. Students are going to do the experiments to apply the knowledge they learn in the books into the reality to test if it is true or not. And also the students not only just like learn from the books, they can also present and talk to the teachers through the smart board. So one thing different is like our graduates, okay, when they graduate from grade 9 or when they graduate from grade 12, they need to present what they've learned so far to the young fellows, okay? So grade 9 students, they need to speak to grade 6 students about what they've learned so far. And the grade 12 students, they need to talk to junior high school students to let them know that, okay, in the international program, what they have learned. So here's some pictures, okay, when the students present to other students. So this is my presentation, and if you are interested about our school and how we cooperate with the Queensland government for the curriculum licensing program, you can write an email to me. Okay, so thank you.
Thanks, Jamie, for the sharing. Since we still have a couple minutes left and we don't have any questions, so I would like to, Sandy from our Taipei City Education Department would like to take the opportunity to briefly introduce the live PE curriculum.
Hello. Okay.
Yep.
These are bilingual textbooks. We cooperation with local company Tutor Junior to develop this curriculum resource. And this resource contain 5 subjects like health and PE and this life curriculum. And in addition, we also cooperated with LTTC to develop listening and speaking assessment tools. We have a digital textbooks to share with you. Thank you.
Right, thanks, Sandy. So, because I didn't receive any questions from you guys, so I think we're going to end the webinar from here. If you have any questions, just feel free to write email to me or to Patrick or anyone from Study Queensland. So thank you, everyone.